Basically, so these are the things, right? So chanting, we are supposed to chant 8 rounds in this particular level. No, by the end of this level, we'll be chanting 8 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. Then we have to read more. We'll be reading or hearing Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita classes. Attend Mangalarti at least once a week or every Ekadashi. Having a basic altar at home, traveling altar or basic altar. The traveling altar, everybody knows about the traveling altar.
No, Prabhuji.
No,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Okay.
You're on mute, Prabhuji.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking my wife to bring that travel altar. So I'll show you. Basically, it's like a small postcard kind of thing, where actually you can fold it, and then you can carry it when you travel, like a small altar, without any deities actually. So that's a very basic altar, with all the important deities, Panchatattva, and everybody is there, Narasimhadev. So whatever we see in the altar, all the deities will be there in that. So I'll just show you. So I think we can get it in the temple. I don't know, but earlier it is. So can you see this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So
Yes.
it's like a card. No, we can fold it actually like a book. So like a card outside, and then you can actually set it up. So you can see all the deities here, right? Radha, basically behind you can see Radha Madhav and the Ashtasakis. Then Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Narsimhadev, Panchana, Gaurantai, and Guru Parampara, right? And then also the 6 Goswamis, like that. So everything. It's just a very small altar. No, we can keep it actually anywhere. So if suppose everybody is not supporting in the family, you can just after worshipping can just fold and keep it inside. So this is a very basic altar. No, this is a minimum thing. It is doesn't mean that no you have to you can if you are comfortable you can have a proper altar also. Everybody has seen it, right? The altar. Krishna, what
Yes,
is?
Prabhuji, but your
Yes, Prabhu.
background is
Yes,
changed
Prabhu.
now, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
somebody changed it. I did not change. So anyway, it's okay. Sometimes all these technical things happens. Now it's okay, no?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Clearly
Prabhu.
visible.
Yeah. So this is a simple altar actually. Okay. So basically, we are supposed to have like we can have an altar like that. Then we can offer the food boga to the Lord through our Guru Parampara. Follow fasting on Ekadashi and other Vaishnava festivals. Offering water and circumambulating Tulsi. Attend Tulsi Arati and read Srila Prabhupada books after the Arati. Wearing Tilaka and chanting Tilak mantra while wearing the Tilak. I confirm that. So basically these are. Then these prayers we are supposed to knowing. Guru Ashtaka, Narsimha prayers, Tulsi prayers, and Arati Boga offering mantras. Okay. Uh, yeah. So maybe not all of these things we are not doing. Ideally speaking, we Bhakti Visha is supposed to be a in-person program, right? So in online actually there are a lot of limitations because sometimes the problem is that we are not able to have a consistent this thing. Sometimes some people newly join, sometimes some people doesn't join, and then it's not possible to interact also. So ideally speaking, in Bhakti Visha, when it is done properly by this level, we will be doing all these things. Okay, so all of you can just have a look at it, and I think this document was shared, in the group, so you can see it in the end actually. Okay, so if anybody has any questions in this,
Hare
anybody
Krishna,
has,
Prabhuji.
yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, this Siksha program,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you mentioned as we are in the third, like you mentioned, I forgot the words, Prabhuji, that Sadhak, Krishna Sadhak
Sadhak,
lessons.
yes.
Like, yeah, Krishna Seva and Shraddhavan comes for Siksha, Prabhuji.
All of them. So Shraddhavan was somebody who was chanting 1 round. That is the first level, right? So we had the sessions in the beginning, now like we had the basic topics, right? Who am I? Like, what is the difference between human being and animal? Those topics were covered in this level. And the end of that module, Shraddhavan is 1 round. So anybody who's chanting 1 round of Hare Krishna mantra, you can take this Shraddhavan round. Okay.
Okay.
So Bhakti Vriksha is actually a parallel program. So it is also possible that without attending Bhakti Vriksha also somebody can take Shiksha. As long as they qualify all the things, right? Whatever we saw. like that set of things, right? Chanting the holy names, like reading some of the books, required books, right? All those things, if you do following the regulatory principles to certain extent, each level has very different levels. In Shraddhavan, nothing is there much. In different levels, we have different expectations. Like as we go to 16 round, then I think we have to follow all the regulatory principles. Like Shri Prabhupada Ashraya. After Prabhupada Ashraya, we are supposed to follow all the regulatory principles. Like that, gradually, it increases. So the Shiksha paper is available, soft copy. In that, actually, it is a more detail given what is expectations. Here also it is there what we saw. So one round is Shraddhavan. Then next is Krishna Sevak is 4 rounds, and now we are in Krishna Sadhak, right? That is 8 rounds.
Mhm.
Is it okay, Mataji?
Oh, yeah,
Clear?
Prabhuji. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank
So
you.
all other anybody has any questions or doubt? No, like what all in the any of in the list of things which is mentioned here. So if some of us are not following all these things, so we can aim, try to follow these things as early as possible. No, like we can plan, make a plan, and try to do. And if anybody has any difficulty in any of the things, no, we can discuss actually. Here or separately, if you want to discuss, you can discuss. What is clear, no, for everybody? So anybody is following all these things already?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm chanting
Mm.
and doing Tulasi Aarti, Prabhuji,
Okay.
and circumambulating in the morning
Okay. Very nice.
and attending Mangalarti program, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. So ideally, the Mangalarti, it should be in person, but because now we are don't doing no, it's online, right? You may be attending the online program, but no, it's good actually. We can whatever possible. Otherwise, if you can really attend Mangalarti at home or no in some devotee's house, that will be best, or temple. Okay, but right now it may not be feasible. So at least in our home, we can try to do later, gradually, whenever it's possible. Good. I think Lavanya Mataji, you are following, no? All these things, I think. Lavanya Mataji. I think Sandhya Mataji is, I think, following all these things.
Yes, Prabhuji. With
Yeah.
God's with Krishna's mercy. We are trying, Prabhuji, with not 100%. We are trying to follow.
Yeah. I think you are doing very nicely. And your children also, they are very nicely doing, getting up early morning and doing very nicely. Good. Okay, no problem. So other people, other devotees, no, please, you can just keep it in mind actually. Gradually, try to that. Nice. Okay, Raji Mataji saying she's watching Manglardi. Yeah. So if you have any questions in this, please clarify so that no, you can understand and try to follow that. These prayers actually you can search, in the net. You can see what are some of the prayers. I think most of them we have discussed already. I think some of them, and otherwise you can get that prayers actually. Okay. So offering boga, yeah, there are some mantras actually. If you are not familiar, basically in the beginning you can have a very simple offering. You can just say Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, in a very basic level, putting tulsi and offering food which Lord can accept, whatever we have discussed, right? And then simply you can offer. But no, ideally speaking, at this point of time, we should start learning the boga offering mantras. And another important thing is these books. These books actually we are supposed to read. Okay, so this is something I think we don't have any problem. No, we can definitely do it. Bhagavad Gita, like first 6 chapters. Then these are the books by Prabhupada Krishna. No, these books are available. So anybody wants those books, we can arrange that books. All these books. So we are supposed to read all these books. So this is very important actually. If you are going for Shiksha, actually Shiksha ceremony, then no, we are supposed to read all these books. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So with that, we will come to the end of this particular module. So we'll then see what is the next module. So now we are going to Prabhupada Ashraya, right? Next is Srila Prabhupada Ashraya. Okay, so what you can do is that first in the beginning only we'll see what are the expectations in this level, so that by the time we reach the end of the session, I think we can try to catch up if possible. Okay, so control. Okay, so in this particular level, 16 rounds, right? End of this level, we are supposed to chant 16 rounds, then follow the four regulatory principle. So previously we saw that no, we wearing tulsi, sorry, wearing the tilak is one thing, and wearing neck beads. Okay, neck bead. Everybody knows neck bead. Now there is tulsi mal, which we wear in the neck. Then, so basically, we will be accepting the Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead and perform or attend Mangalarti, Guru Puja, and Gaurarati at least once a week. Okay, perform attend Tulsi Arati at least 3 times a week at home. This is Srila Prabhupada's lectures. Okay, so basically, not much. Mainly, main difference is the chanting and following the regulatory principle. Fully, no, coming to that thing. Other things are like no, we can do it without much difficulty. Then the songs and books wise, we are supposed to read Krishna book, Bhagavad Gita, next 6 chapters, that is 7 to 12, Prabhupada, Leelamrita, then Nectar of Instruction, and other books of Prabhupada. So this is the expectation. Anybody has any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, what is Gaura Harati and
Gaurarti, we sing in the center, Mataji. That Kibajayo, that's no? Kibajayo, Jaya Gaura Chande. That song.
okay.
Yes. Okay. In the evening, that's the evening arati.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. One thing I think we missed one session actually in the last module. Okay, maybe I think we should cover that first. I think that so we missed a session on Tilak, right? Anybody remember we have taken the session about the Tilak? Nivedana Mataji is not there, na, today. I think she joined and she left. Okay. So I just want to check. Everybody is familiar about the Tilak, importance of Tilak, and no, not able to find. I think it was in the previous module, no? Not in this module. In one session we had skipped. Sevak. Yeah. Flow the program. I want to check with devotees. Can you please tell me that no, all of you are familiar with the importance of Tilak, or if you are not familiar, I think we'll have to cover this session. It's an important session.
No, Prabhu, please explain, Prabhu.
Okay. Sushil Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have read that in our book.
Okay, fine. Let us then we'll discuss that actually. At least we should not skip it. We had skipped it actually because at that time it was too early. I thought so. Little more after little more faith. No, then I thought we'll cover this. Okay, so maybe we'll discuss this today. Okay. Okay, so we'll read and then we'll try to understand importance of decorating the body with tilak. Okay, somebody can start reading. Some devotee. Sushil Prabhu, you can only read. Start reading.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Yeah. Tilak is sometimes called uh, ornamentation of spirit soul. The decoration made by applying wet clay mixture marks the body as temple of Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. The devote, Vaishnava devotee marks his body in 12 places for uh, sanctification and protection. And one who is wearing tilaka can at once be identified as a devotee of Lord. Just as one can recognize that the strength of the government is behind a uniform policeman, one can understand that the strength of God is behind a devotee marked with Tilak. Adapted from the Hare Krishna Handbook, ISKCON, 1970, Chapter 7. According to Vaishnava tradition, Gopi Chandana or sacred soil from Dwarka or Vrindavana is applied on the body in 12 places while reciting mantras to Lord Vishnu. This process purifies one's body, designating it as a temple of the Lord. Besides purification, the tilak also offers the wearers protection from ghosts, evil influences, bad dreams, accidents, and many other things. It keeps one's mind calm and allows one to constantly remember Lord Krishna. The sacred dust of Vrindavana is said to have touched the lotus feet of Sri Krishna exclusive devotee and is worshipable even by Sri Krishna himself. In the Padma Purana, there is a statement describing how a Vaishnava should decorate his body with tilak and beads. Person who puts tulsi beads on the neck who mark 12 places of their bodies as Vishnu temples with Vishnu's symbolic representation. The four items held in the four hands of Lord Vishnu, conch, mace, disc, and lotus, and who has Vishnu Tilak on their foreheads, are to be understood as the devotee of Lord Vishnu in this world. Their presence makes the world purified, and anywhere they they remain, they make that place as good as Vaikuntha.
Okay. Okay. I think we can ask somebody else to continue. Thank you,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
yeah,
So, any
thanks.
other devotees would like to continue from remaining part?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu, I will continue.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, little down, Prabhuji. Once, yeah, little down once. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. A similar statement is in the Skanda Purana, which says persons who are decorated with tilak or gopi chandana, a kind of clay resembling fuller's earth, which is produced in certain quarters of Vrindavana, and who mark their bodies all over with the holy names of the Lord. And on whose necks and breasts there are tulsi beads and never approached by the Amadotas. The Amadotas are the constables of King Yama, the Lord of Death, who punishes who punches all sinful men. Vaishnavas are never called for by such constables of Yamaraja. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the narration of Azamila's deliverance, it is said that Yamaraja gave clear instructions to his assistants not to approach the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are beyond the jurisdiction of Yamaraja's activities. The Padma Purana also mentions a person whose body is decorated with the pulp of sandalwood with painting of the holy name of the Lord is delivered from all sinful reactions. And after his death, he goes directly to Krishna Loka to live in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Adapted from number chapter 9, Tilak and Tulsi Beads. Anyone who wishes to acknowledge the simple truth that I am Lord Krishna's servant can wear Tilak, the clay mark devotees wear on the forehead and the other places on their body. You may not feel you have much devotion to Krishna, but you are not prohibited from wearing tilaka because it's a sign that you are trying to be his devotee. What's more, the qualifications of being Krishna's devotee soon develop in a person who learns the art of wearing tilaka. Hare Krishna, Babu, shall I continue or?
We can check with anybody, and if somebody wants to read.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other devotee would like to read? Continue.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Shall I read,
Yeah, yeah,
Prabhuji?
sure.
Why decorate Tilaka? Why decorate the body? A devotee of Krishna decorates the body because it's a temple of God. Instead of decorating our body as if it were the self, or destroying it, or disip- disipicing, dis-
Despise.
despising it for its filthy emissions, we can respect and care for it as a residence of the Supreme Lord. The soul lives within the body, and so too does the super soul, the Lord. As a house is built and maintained for the pleasure of its owner, so our body is meant for the pleasure of its real owner, Lord Krishna. Decorating the body with tilaka pleases him. Putting on tilaka helps remind us we belong to Krishna. And when others see a person wearing tilaka, they are not only reminded of Krishna but relieved of sinful reactions. When we wear tilaka on our bodies, the Lord protects us from all sides. When Sri Prabhupada gave a disciple the name Tilakadasi, he told her that tilaka means victory personified, adapted from BTG 26:4, 1992 Bhakti Yoga at Home. Tilaka, the mark of God.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So here, I think this particular topic is, I think, very straightforward. I mean, we can just, if anybody has any questions, we can clarify. Otherwise, I don't think there is a discussion required as such, right? We can discuss also if somebody wants to discuss. So let
Uh,
us, yeah, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I have a doubt. Hare
Hmm.
Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
In the third paragraph, third line, Prabhuji,
Hmm.
where who mark 12 places of their bodies as Vishnu temple with Vishnu symbolic representations. The four items held in the four hands of Lord Vishnu.
Yes, Mataji. So regarding this, so this is actually different sampradaya, no? Has different little small variations in how the tilak is worn. Okay, so I think Sri Vaishnavas, no, they actually wear, they have the marks actually. So some of the Sri Vaishnava devotees, they will have a kind of a what you call it, that a die kind of thing, no, with the
Mm.
symbols, and then they apply it actually. Different symbols they apply. So that is what is mentioned actually. The
Mudras.
conch, mace, disc, and lotus. But our in our sampradaya, no, we wear the tilak. We know, right? How do we wear the tilak?
Okay.
I don't know. There's a picture somewhere. I think no. Okay, I'll find out the picture. Okay. So we'll have to search that picture. We'll search it.
Yes,
Second.
Prabhuji. YouTube
Even
video is
Madhya
there,
Sampradaya
Prabhuji.
also has that culture, Prabhuji. Madhya Sampradaya also, they do
Yeah.
keep Sanka chakras at the on the for the forehead on the both sides of both sides.
Yes. Yes, Mataji. Correct.
Prabhuji, even the ladies put this.
Yes, the tilak actually everybody wears in our sampradaya. No, everybody wears the tilak,
Oh.
Mataji. Just, yeah. So this picture you can see, no. This is one of the pictures. Very small. Can you? I don't know whether you're able to see or not. Can you see that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So this is the front side, no. So we start the same tilak we are putting everywhere ideally. Okay, but not everybody, like, definitely in the forehead, the mark will be exactly like this, but other places, if you can put like this, it will be good, but I think it will require in the beginning, some kind of a die kind of thing, or a cast. Otherwise, actually, rest of the places we just put the tilak, as a line. Okay, so ideally we should put like the same way what you are seeing here. Okay, so we start with the forehead, no, like Om Keshavaya Nama, like that. We'll have to, as you put the tilak, we'll recite the mantra Om Keshavaya Nama. Okay, basically we are, when you are praying, we are requesting that area to be protected by Keshava. Okay, then this Govinda, this area is protected by Govinda. Om Govindaya Nama, Om Keshavaya Nama, Om Govindaya Nama, Om Madhavaya Nama. So actually, first after Keshava, we'll go to next is here, Narayana. Okay, first on the forehead, then Om, then actually here, Om Narayana Nama, then on the chest, Madhavaya Nama, then Om Govindaya Nama, the neck. Om Keshaya Narayana Nama, Madhavaya Nama, Govindaya Nama. Then Vishnave Nama. Here actually, this side, Vishnave Nama. Okay, then Madhusudanaya Nama, Trivikramaya Nama, like on the hand. Vamanaya Nama. Okay, on the other side, Sridharaya Nama, Rishikeshaya Nama. Like that. This is the order actually. Then on the back side, Padmanabhaya Nama. And one second, after this, it is Padmanabhaya Nama, Damodaraya Nama. One second. Yeah, on the back. Then we'll start with Om Damodaraya Nama, lower back, then Padmanabhaya Nama here, and Vasudevaya Nama. No, sorry. On the head actually, on the back of the Shikha, what is the mantra? No, that is lower, Damodara. Damodaraya Nama, Padmanabhaya. Padmanabhaya Nama, I think here actually it ends, but in India actually whatever is excess we normally put behind the head actually. Okay. Om Keshvaya Nama, yeah, Vasudevaya Nama. Yes. So that is how the order. So Om Keshvaya Nama, Om Narayana Nama, Om Vasudevaya Nama. Like that it goes actually. Okay. Madhavaya Nama. Any questions in this? As Mataji was saying, there are videos available. So if you have doubt, I think you can check there. Okay, but it's very important. So basically, this is giving the protection from all the, like as it is mentioned, right? We saw all the ill effects. The Lord actually we are praying for the protection. So wherever tilak is marked, that our body is protected actually completely. Anybody has any questions? What is? Okay, hopefully it is clear. Coming back here. Yes. So no, we'll discuss more. Anybody has any questions on this topic? No, what we discussed today.
Actually, I would like to one point, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji,
Just
sure.
my experience.
Yeah.
Last year we went to Guruvayur, Prabhuji,
Mm-hmm.
to have darshan. At that time we were with Tilak and Kantimala, na?
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the devotee he came from the temple and
Mm-hmm.
he wished us, oh, you are from ISKCON, from which place and all. Means it's
Mm-hmm.
like some recognition. It's our family like that. It shows
Correct.
us, right? It makes us, everyone whoever are there. It
Mm-hmm.
makes us to come together. And even that Pujari also, he took us inside to give to make us give the darshan.
Mm-hmm.
And and he offered some prasadam and everything. It was like even wherever we go, we can meet our family.
Yes, Mataji, correct.
So really, really, Prabhuji, it's very good experience for us, for my family that time.
Correct,
Uh,
Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
it's
Very
like ID
nice.
card,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, identification card.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, we are identifying as a devotee, that's what is mentioned. So one is that anybody is wearing this kind of tilak. So there are different sampradayas have different tilak, but the Vaishnava tilaks is called like Urdhva Pundara, like that they call. So they are similar actually. There are small variations. Like our sampradaya Gaudiya Vaishnavas wearing this tilak. Then Sri Vaishnavas, we also wear like similar, but no little different actually it is with different colors like that. So Madhvacharya Sampradaya, they also wear similar. So all these Vaishnava tilaks, they are all identify, we can, as Mataji, Santya Mataji was saying. So when we have the tilak, so one is that our like people who are following the Gaudiya parampara, they can easily identify, okay, he's a devotee, who is in this particular parampara. And but anybody in general will identify as a devotee of the Lord Krishna, right? Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. So like that, there are a lot of benefits actually, right? But I know there are different perspectives, of different people. I just want to hear from everybody, like more actually more. So we'll discuss actually. See, many people may feel very shy or reluctant to put, even if sometimes they have a desire that okay, I should put it, but they are actually very shy, or they feel like no, they have different inhibitions and they may think what others. So there are different. So I would like to hear from all devotees. What do you think? So first of all, if any questions are there, any in this whatever is mentioned, if there is any doubt or anything, we can first discuss that. Okay, I would like to hear from all devotees, so please open. Um, okay, so as Mataji mentioned, right? So one first paragraph we covered. In the second paragraph, can somebody say what are the important points there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Second para, according to my understanding, we are making our body purified, Prabhuji,
Yes.
by wearing the tilak. Though they have mentioned that it helps us from our bad dreams, accidents, and everything. What I felt was, uh, though our body is useless and all those things,
Mhm.
while we are living, we are making it a temple of Lord
Yes.
by wearing that. It might not be in the second para, but
Yes, Mataji, correct.
That was the point I got it, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, nice, very nice point. And others also can add. So there are different things mentioned, right? So how the Gopi Chandni is made, that is one thing is mentioned. So it is actually the sacred soil from the holy dham, right? So in the holy dham, the Lord's footprints is there. No, Lord has actually put his lotus feet and played. So that entire dham actually is considered as spiritual, no? Chintamani dhama. So when we have to consider that no, this tilak actually the ingredients in the tilak is actually spiritual, and then it can also spiritualize us, right? We know that no, anything which is spiritual, when we are coming in contact with that spiritual thing, no, we also become spiritualized. So it is a holy dham, no, the mud of the holy dham actually is coming as Gopi Chandan, and then whatever is available, no, they will add some kind of little perfume kind of thing so that no, it smells nicely. So that is how it is produced, and no, as Mataji mentioned, right? So to basically putting the tilak, right, actually gives a feeling of purity. We feel that that kind of a mentality, and it always reminds us also whenever we are wearing the tilak, and when we do an activity, we'll be reluctant to do something which is bad, right? Because we are always reminded that actually I'm wearing the tilak, and so basically everybody will try to understand you, assess you based on like, okay, when you have put the tilak, everybody will understand that he is a devotee of the Lord, and then people would expect that no, we will behave accordingly, right? So that way also it is good actually. When we wear tilak, then naturally our tendency to commit sinful activities will go away. So in the beginning and all, we are not wearing tilak, right? Only when we go out or when we are meeting devotees, at that time we wear tilak. But generally, as we progress, no, like all the time we are supposed to wear tilak. So then naturally, all the time we will be remain Krishna conscious, and also our activities are also kind of regulated actually. Right? That is also another aspect. Okay. Yeah, so no, protection part we discussed, right? No, it can keep away. Also the kanti mala, the tulsi mala which we are wearing in the neck, right? That also is very auspicious. No, basically these things, when we wear kanti mala and then tulsi mala in the neck, then actually we are supposed to follow the four regulatory principles properly. Right? Otherwise we should not wear the tulsi mala. Okay, we can put some other mala, but tulsi mala, we are supposed not to put. Yeah, so the body is like a temple, right? Basically, many places in the Prabhupada used to say that actually our body is actually the Lord's property, right? Especially, like, because everything is coming from Supreme Lord. So that is why, like, it is not, it is actually recommended, like, not to commit, for example, suicide or anything, because it is not our body. The Lord has given it, and it is Lord's property. So we have to, it's our duty to keep it nicely, right? It is like a Prabhupada sometimes give the example like a tenant, no? A tenant actually is living in an apartment, right? In an apartment, a tenant is living for some time, and then he vacates, or no, he, like, similarly the body is like a temporary apartment for the soul. But as long as the soul is there, and also not only the soul, the super soul also is there, Paramatma is also there, right? So that way it should be considered, if you maintain it like a temple, then actually all the auspicious things will happen, right? All purity, everything will come. So that is why it is explained, to maintain it, think like that actually, maintain it like a temple, the Lord's property. Any questions in the other second paragraph? Okay, I think that is straightforward. Um, yeah, so this is very important actually. See, there are multiple quotes in the scriptures, no, that Yamaduda. I think some of you might have heard about, no, I mean, most of you might have heard about the pastimes of Ajamila, right? Ajamila's pastime we also discussed multiple times. So I mean, there's a conversation after the between Yamadudas and Vishnududas. No, when Yamadudas come to take the sinful Ajamila, Vishnududas will not allow to take, because no, he has uttered the holy names of the Lord at the time of death. And then after that, there is a debate or discussion between Vishnududas and Yamadudas. So there actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think you should try to read that. There is a detailed discussions, no, like no, they will try to debate, why we cannot take and all those things. And finally, Yamadudas, will go back to Yamaraj, and then Yamaraj actually gives a discourse about actually, about the glories of the holy name and the glories of the devotees of the Lord. So there actually Yamaraj will strictly instruct, his Yamadudas, that you should never approach a Vaishnava or anybody who is wearing a tilak, right? You should never approach like that actually, So it is mentioned, Ramadudas giving instructions to Yamadudas. Yamaraj is giving the instruction. So from that we can understand, it is very, very auspicious and very powerful. because people who are not devotees, no, they will not have faith in all these things. But when we become devotees, when we start chanting the holy names, when we start hearing scriptures from devotees, right? When then gradually we'll start having the faith. Okay, and the faith will be initially very fragile. No, it is called Komala Shraddha. It can be easily destroyed. It's like a very delicate creeper. No? So that is why it is very important to associate with devotees, because when we continue to associate with non-devotees, then the Komala Shraddha, right, or this fragile faith actually can be easily broken, because people will tell so many nonsenses, right? They will think, no, so they will try to put you down. So we should keep associating with devotees, so that now our tree can become, our creeper can become more strong. So once it becomes quite strong, then actually it cannot be easily, easily destroyed or uprooted. So in the beginning, that is why very important that we should always associate with devotees, right? So as we progress, no, then we'll start having faith in all these things actually, because the scriptures are saying there are so many examples, right, where actually we can see the importance of wearing the tilak. Okay. Anybody has any questions till now? Okay, so in this paragraph, next paragraph, somebody can tell what are the important points.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, you're audible.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
for me, it was the last point, Prabhuji. Sorry, I'm not going by the order, but I the these were the points that were I was able to grasp in the first go, Prabhuji. So I'm just putting across that.
Yeah, no problem.
Uh, yeah, one who is wearing tilak, if they are cross, it is mentioned that the one who is seeing the people who are wearing tilak, even their sins are uh, cl- I mean, sinful reactions are being cleared.
Yes.
So
It's a
that
point you want
was
to
the
make, or
point.
you want to explain, or you want clarification on that?
No, Prabhuji, that is the point.
Yeah.
I got
Yes.
I mean, I understood
Yes, Mataji, very nice.
at
That's a very nice point actually. Because what is told is that when somebody sees a devotee, like somebody wearing a tilak or kantimala, so that anybody who sees, they will identify that okay, he's a devotee of the Lord, right? So by doing that, they are actually remembering the Lord. So because of that, because of remembering Lord, no, immediately they are also purified. Yes, Maded, yes, Pared Pundarikaksham, Bahyandarya Suti, right? So by remembering Pundarikaksha, both internal and external purity is achieved. So remembering, seeing a devotee of the Lord, people are remembered about the Supreme Lord, right? That is why it is so powerful. That clear, no, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. I wanted to mention that those who don't pray or who don't remember God, by seeing that nama, anyone can correlate for the
Yes.
purpose of nama that
Exactly.
indirectly rectifies their sinful reactions.
Yes, Mataji. Everybody is benefited actually. They are also benefited.
Yeah, but I have to put a note here, Prabhuji. There had been times where
Mm.
the tilak had been joked or it's been criticized
Mm.
or everything, Prabhuji. For that sake, most of the places it has been told, like we say it Nama, if you know, Prabhuji. I don't know
Yeah.
if Nama.
Yes.
So they usually say that, usually, people put that for others.
Hmm. Others in the sense?
I know it's called Nama and other normal thing. It's told as in normal slang. It is told as zero. They put zero for us. They have put big Nama for us in business. They have
Okay,
put
okay. Like Govinda
yeah,
kind of thing, no? They are saying
yes,
Govinda.
yes, yes,
Mm.
Prabhuji. But actually, after getting into Krishna consciousness,
Mm.
since we get to know few things, I feel guilty when things have been on that way. No,
Yeah.
even I would have participated in such conversations, even like now listening to such things also, since
Yeah.
I don't know the importance of this is helping me out,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
See, Mataji,
Hare
so the
Krishna.
point is that, yeah, nice point, Mataji. So basically, we have seen many times, right? The material realm and spiritual realm are opposites, right? Somebody who's successful materially and somebody successful spiritually, they are opposite. Basically in Bhagavad Gita also there is a shloka, no? Ye ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami. Right, there is a shloka. Basically, what it means is that what is night for an enlightened soul, what is day for an enlightened soul is night for the normal living entity, right, and vice versa. So basically, what it means is that because what is the reality, what is the truth, what is success, all these things, no, are relative, like, no. So people in material world, they think that achieving wealth, achieving money, all these things are successful, and then they think that the people who are doing the spiritual path, no, they are all fools. No, they don't have any idea, they don't have any intelligence, because they cannot do anything, they are taking up. So they are actually thinking like that. Or just like, no, a mad person will think that other people are mad, right? And so if you are going to a asylum, right, mental what you call asylum, so the people who are going and seeing the people there, they know that okay, people inside are mad. Okay, but people inside actually, they may think that, no, people outside, no, they, whoever has come, they are mad actually, like that. So actually the people who are outside is really the not mad, that we know. So similarly, people who have the spiritual knowledge, they are actually the people who have the right knowledge, right? They are actually the sane people. And all the people who are in the material world is a jail, we know, right? But actually, because of illusion, they all think that, no, whatever they are doing is right, right? So this is the kind of a opposite views. So when we are not having knowledge about spiritual path, no, like that is what people think, that all the devotees are, they are all very innocent people. No, they can be easily fooled, they can be taken for a ride, all those things. So when somebody is wearing tilak, that is why, you know, they are actually trying to correlate with that, saying that, no, we put a tilak on him, means we actually fooled him, or he's a very innocent person, we can easily cheat him, things like that. Okay, but actually, if you look from a spiritual perspective, that is a good qualification actually, right? Because all this material, whatever so-called achievements, everything actually is not really going to help the living entity in the long run. That already we know, right? So these are the two different perspectives. Is that clear? Anybody wants to add any point or comment here? Is it clear to everybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I can hear you. Who is speaking? Shravani Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I also have one point, Prabhuji, like what Revati Mataji told. Means um, I also means I also came to know all these situations. Means why to appear like as a devotee? If you have a devotion in your heart, you can keep it inside, right? Then so many are asking like why to show off like that, like putting a tilak like you are devotee like that. If you have something in, keep it inside your heart. Like that, they will tell why you appear like and why you are putting all these and all. That's what they will ask us, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Then what we have to say?
Yeah. See, the problem is that, no, that's what, when we are in the devotional path, in the beginning, no, like we have to go through different stages, right? So till our faith is fully strong, no, we will have so many doubts and these kind of questions. These are all practical problem, definitely.
And one more thing, Prabhuji, instead we can have that saffron powder also will be there, right, Prabhuji? That God's saffron powder. What we will do puja in front of the God, that also we can put, right? Means most of the time in earlier days, everybody will put that saffron powder, even gents and ladies, man and woman. Nowadays, only women will put, but most of the time men are not putting, but even we can put that saffron powder also, right?
Yes,
Why
Mataji. So,
only like this in that symbol only?
so is the question your question or somebody else's question? Like, you have this doubt, or somebody else is
I'm
asking you
also
this?
have this. I am also have this question.
Okay, so your question today we discussed. No, so the answer is in this particular today's session, right? Why should we wear tilak is given. So we have seen the main thing. See, first thing is that basically, why you are wearing the tilak is because it's part of the parampara, right? So we are following. See, basically, how can we go to Krishna? That is the question. So if you try to, let's say, if you want to achieve something great, we have to follow. We need to have a spiritual master, right? We have to follow a parampara, because that we have seen. What is the importance of parampara? Actually understand until we, because we everybody in the material, last session we discussed that everybody in the material world is bound, no, we are all under the illusion. Okay, to get out of the illusion, we need a person who is liberated, that is a spiritual master. And there are different authorized parampara in today's world, right? We have the Madhava, no, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya parampara, that coming the line of Madhavacharya, then Sri Vaishnavas, that is coming Lakshmi Sampradaya, then Rudra Sampradaya and Nimbarka Sampradaya. There are four authorized paramparas. This is also given in Padma Purana. These are the four authorized paramparas. So if somebody is wanting to go to Vaikuntha or spiritual world, they have to follow one of these four paramparas. That is required actually. If we do our own way, na, see, basically in the material world, if you want to achieve material things, then actually our intelligence can help. You know, if you are very intelligent and no, by your own endeavor, you can try to go and make progress. But in the spiritual path, it is very difficult because all the living entities in the material world, they are all covered by Maya. Okay, to get out of the cycle of birth and death and Maya, we need actually a guidance, right? We have to follow a parampara. Somebody who actually is already liberated, they can only help us. So when we are following a parampara, what is happening? See, there is something called a initiation, right? We discuss about initiation. So initiation
Yes.
is a process by which we are actually getting connected to the parampara. Unless until we are see, by our endeavor, no, it is like the example many times. No, this material existence is given as an example. It's like an ocean. It is known as Bhavasagara, right? Bhavambudhi, like that it is mentioned actually. So it is an ocean. It's like a huge ocean. To cross the ocean, no, a dog or an a normal living entity cannot swim across the ocean, right? Ocean is unsurmountable. So similarly, the material existence of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, right? It is by design. We have discussed in many of the previous session. The material world is designed for refining the living entities because the living entity want to enjoy independent of the Lord. Okay, because that's why they come down to the material world. In the spiritual world, everybody is serving the Lord because the Lord has created all living entities to serve Him. So in the material world, because they are rebellious, they don't want to serve the Lord, they come to the material world. And material world is designed in such a way that as long as the living entity comes here, they are covered by Maya. Maya is the external energy of the Lord, which covers the intelligence of the living entity. Their original intelligence is lost. Okay, they are illusion. They are thinking that I am the body, right? So this is the condition. So how can we get out of cycle of birth and death? Right? That is actually given in the scriptures. No, there are different methods. Vedic scriptures gives the ways, but also the Vedic scriptures also tells the importance of accepting a guru, spiritual master, and also a bona fide spiritual master is coming in a parampara, because by our endeavor it is not possible to cross this ocean. That one analogy we used to discuss many times, the analogy of the boat, right? So to cross an ocean, we need a boat or a ship, right? So the different bodies, there are 84 lakh species of life, right? 84 lakh species are different boats. There are different boats. Every body is like a boat. Like animal body is a boat, a tiger body is a boat, no? Like no, like the different bird body is a boat. But only the human body is the suitable boat by which we can cross this ocean. Other bodies, other boats cannot cross this ocean. When you get a human body after so many births, that boat is actually capable of crossing. But just the boat is not enough. Then what we need actually to cross the ocean, we need a captain, right, who has already navigated, who knows how to cross. So the captain is a spiritual master who is coming in a disciplic succession. So we got a body which is suitable, but then we need a spiritual master who can guide us. Then actually we also need winds. The wind has to be favorable, right? The climate or the weather has to be favorable. So the weather is actually given analogy. It is the scriptures. The Vedic scriptures are the kind of a lighthouse, or it's just gives us the direction to cross. Like that, all this information is there. So the point is that the spirit, to get out of the cycle of birth and death, when we are in the illusion in the material world, only by a spiritual master who is actually who is coming in the bona fide, who is a pure devotee of the Lord, who is a Mahabhagavata, he can actually deliver us, and he is delivering by the strength of the parampara, right? Because by the power of his spiritual master, and like though it is a chain of spiritual masters, so entire parampara is actually playing a role. How actually it is, why it is like this? Because the devotees of the Lord are very dear to Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. We have seen that, no, in many classes. There are many other demigods and other gods, but Krishna is the source of everything. And when somebody becomes a devotee of the Lord, that person becomes very dear to Krishna. So because the devotees, the spiritual masters who are in the parampara, right, they are all pure devotees of the Lord. They are all very dear to Krishna. Because of that, that is the reason by which Krishna accepts a person, even though we are all unqualified, because the pure devotee is recommending that, no, oh Lord, please save this particular soul. I have decided that this soul be saved actually. When the spiritual master desires that, then Krishna actually helps that person to become delivered. So this is the entire process, Mataji. So the point is that because we are coming in the only by the strength of the parampara, right? We are actually, there's a chance or a hope for us to get delivered. And because we are following the parampara of Brahma Mada Gaudiya's parampara, actually this parampara has a particular system, right? And then we have a particular tilak which actually we are wearing. So these are all part of the system. Like how can we become purified? There are various ways by which it is recommended that we can become purified. So wearing the tilak actually is a very important aspect. No, in this today's chapter we discuss why tilak is important, right? So Tilak is important because of various reasons what we mentioned, right? Because one is that we ourselves are remembered. No, we are remembering that okay, we are a servant of the Lord, and then that will make us avoid committing sinful activities. That is one thing. Second, actually, is that other people actually by seeing they are also thinking about the Lord. So our parampara, especially like all this parampara, we generally don't think only not only our benefit. Actually, we think that how others also can be benefited. Though, see, a devotee of the Lord. See, the problem. What is the biggest issue here? Na? Why are we having this problem? Is because of our ego. Okay, because we don't want to become slighted in front of others. We think that okay, wearing a tilak, I'll look very odd. What other people will think about me? No, I'll become like a laughing stock. So all these things because of we have an ego in our heart, and we don't want the ego to become hurt, right? That is why we think about so many things. But actually, if somebody who's a Vaishnava, right? If you want to make progress in devotional service, then actually, what is the biggest quality which is required? Is humility, right? Humility is very, very most important quality for a Vaishnava or a devotee of the Lord. So how do we achieve humility? As long as I think, no, like I'm a big person, no, I am so and so person. I know I'm working in an so and so company, right? I have so many relatives. I have this position. No, these are my relatives. I am born in a very high class. So as long as we have all this bodily thought, bodily designation, I'm important. Then actually it is very difficult for us to make progress in spiritual life because the humility is not there, right? The reason that we came to the material world we discussed in the beginning is because we are not humble. We don't want to surrender to Krishna, right? Surrender to the Lord. So we can see that in the examples of the pure devotees, right? If you look at Haridas Thakur, for example, he is a person with so much humility. No, he is actually an incarnation of Lord Brahmaji, but he has shown so much of humility that he actually he did not expect anything. It doesn't have any designation. So if you look at the Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? So these are all they are all examples how to become a pure devotee, which actually we cannot do now. Definitely, we are grihasthas, but that is something we have to some point of time. No, we have to uh, achieve at least we have to move in that direction. So basically, when it is mentioned in many places, no, somebody who is akinchana, a person who is akinchana is the most dear to Lord. Yeah, akinchana is one who doesn't have any material possessions. So as long as we have material possessions, we are attached to material possession, we cannot no, we cannot attract the supreme Lord. The Lord is not no Lord will not become attracted to us also, right? Lord likes somebody who actually is who doesn't have any material possession, who is completely depending on him, right? So that is actually it's something which actually we can achieve after a long practice. But we have to understand what is the ultimate, where are we where are we moving, what is that we have to achieve. So all of us actually, including me, I have also a lot of kind of what you call inhibition, like I feel why should I wear tilak, like definitely well going to office and all, I'm not comfortable wearing tilak, right? But there are some devotees, no, they will wear tilak even in the office. So that actually those devotees, so they are actually becoming more depending on the Krishna. They are not the, as long as we think what other people, the materialistic people, what they think about us, we cannot make progress in spiritual life. It is so some point of time we should gradually neglect what materialistic people tell about us, because no, the material anyway that they are opposite, right? We discussed just now, no, they are just like the mad people. So we should not worry what other people think. Okay, of course we have to be practical, right? For example, no, if you are living in a foreign country, right, it may not be very easy to wear tilak and go everywhere. Okay, like for example in Europe and all, I don't think it's a big problem, but especially if you go to Gulf countries, no, there are restrictions. No, the Muslim nations and all, they don't allow you to wear these marks. So we can go step by step. If it is possible, we can wear actually, like for example, if you're going to a temple or a program, then you can wear tilak. And it is also told that if you're not comfortable wearing the tilak with gobi chandan, no, till we become comfortable wearing gobi chandan, you can also put the tilak with water actually. No, it will not be visible, but we actually pray all the mantras and we just put water actually as a tilak. So this is possible also, in the beginning stage if you're not able to do. But gradually, we should come to a stage where we become completely shameless. In the sense, for Krishna, we should be ready to do anything. Because if you see in Western countries also, like when Prabhupada went to US, right? US actually is a complete country full of Western culture, right? Full of materialism. So there actually when Prabhupada went, no, all these Western people, right? Young boys and girls, Prabhupada always used to say, were hippies, right? They used to take drugs and all those kind of people became devotees, and they immediately shaved their head, put a shiga, right, and then they wear the kurta and dhoti, which actually is completely, they look like aliens in that country, but they did not bother anything actually because they were completely having faith in Prabhupada. So similarly, we should all full faith in spiritual master and Krishna, and some point of time, no, it is not possible today. I know practically speaking, it is difficult actually, but we have to understand that some point of time I should become like, no, I should come to a stage where I will not worry about what other people think about me. No, I just I want to just surrender to Krishna. So people actually, you can see in Western countries, right? I mean, in Germany and all, I don't think not much happens now. But earlier, when Prabhupada was there, actually they used to do kirtan also, Nagar kirtan. They used to do book distribution. There were a lot of issues in Germany because of the people actually complained against them, and then there was a case against them. No, then they used to arrest them. So they went through all those difficulties, but they never gave up actually. And finally, the court actually dismissed the case, and like they understood that they are genuine people. But nevertheless, the thing is that some point of time, right, we should come to a stage where we should not worry. So we can see devotees in West US and other countries, they go out in taking in group actually, doing kirtan, nagar sankirtan, wearing dhoti, kurta, and shika. So they don't worry, what are the things. So for all of us, it's a very difficult thing, because as long as we are worrying, what will happen to me, what others think about me, that kind of a concern when we are having about me, then actually, it is very difficult for us. We worry so much about all these things. But gradually, slowly, by praying to the Lord, gradually we can overcome it. Especially in India, when you come, definitely it's not a big problem actually. Here also, even a big city like in Mumbai and all, you can see so many devotees. They go in train, they go everywhere wearing the Vaishnava dress. So gradually people get used to it actually. In the beginning, maybe some people may think, okay, what is this? But now in Mumbai and all, like most people know what is Hare Krishna people know, ISKCON people know, they know this ISKCON people. They don't think very much about it. Similarly, gradually in Bangalore also, many people know. So gradually, the idea is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has predicted, Prithvi Chache basically has predicted that in every town and village, the holy names of Krishna will be chanted. That is the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now this 10,000 years in Kali Yuga, it is considered as the golden age in the Kali Yuga. And it is told that everybody will gradually become a devotee, the entire earth, right? Everywhere in the world. Every town and village, actually the holy names of the Lord will be chanted. So that is the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So gradually, things may happen like that. So yeah, so the point is that what is the biggest one of the biggest obstacle for every living entity to become a pure devotee is actually our ego, right? Our concern, like what will happen to me, like we are not ready to give up everything. So the pure devotee is somebody is called akinchana, right? Like they give up everything actually, they give up their family, they give up their job, everything they are giving, and they're completely dedicating, they're completely depending on Krishna. So that is the ideal standard, but actually it is not possible for us to happen immediately. So what we can practically do is that step by step we can go, like if you are not in a favorable environment, then actually you can put a tilak which is actually, which is made of water, right? But actually we always should think, how can I more and more surrender to Krishna, how can I more and more depend fully on the Lord. So that we should go step by step, right? So for example, when problems are happening in our life, right, rather than trying to worry too much about it, or not trying to solve it ourselves, try to depend on Krishna actually. Understand that everything is the Lord's plan, right? When Krishna says that ye dhamam prabhadyante tam tadeva bhajamyaham, to the extent a devotee surrenders to Krishna, to that extent Krishna reciprocate. Similarly, to the extent we surrender, to that extent Lord will protect us. So if you're surrendered only 10%, no, then Lord will only help you only 10%. And somebody is surrendered 50%, then Krishna will help, no, to that extent he'll help. And when somebody is fully surrendered and fully dependent on Krishna, then that person's life is fully taken care by Krishna. Otherwise, Krishna will not interfere in our life. Our material world, everything is conducted by material energy, Maya, and the three modes of material nature, right? The laws of karma, all these things are controlling us in our material world. Krishna is not controlling in that way. Krishna is indirectly controlling through his energies, but Krishna will never interfere in our life as long as we surrender to him. Only when we surrender to him fully, then the Lord will actually try to interfere in your life. Otherwise, he will not interfere in our life. So, so we have to understand that the whole idea is that how to become always, how to come to a stage where I can always remember Krishna, and how to come to a stage where I can fully depend on Krishna. So that is the ultimate goal, right? So this Tilak and all, actually, see, the materialistic people will tell all these things because they don't know anything. They will tell, no, why if you have devotion, you keep it in your heart. And many people tell that I am so they don't like these things. So why you have to go to temple? Why you have to show off? I have devotion in my heart. I will do it myself. But you have to see, ask them where it is mentioned, in which scripture it is mentioned like this, right? So we are following the scriptures, right? Vedic scriptures is like the manual given by the Lord has given how actually we have to execute devotional service. He's talking in Srimad Bhagavatam what is expected. In Padma Purana, all whatever is discussed about Tilak, this particular section is coming from Padma Purana, which actually is actually the words of the devotees of the Lord. Narad Muni, the conversation between Vyasadeva has written it. Actually, Narad Muni is talking, so it is coming from the Supreme Lord, right? And the Lord Shiva is talking many things actually, in Padma Puran. To Parvati is discussing. So whatever we are doing is not just whimsical. No, we are just doing something. No, it's not that we are concocting something and doing something. It is actually being instructed like this. So if you follow the instructions of the Supreme Lord, if you follow the instructions of spiritual master, then actually we can make progress in spiritual life, right? This materialistic people will say something, and if you follow that, no, we don't get any benefit because it is they are just some concussion. Okay, so it may be true that no, we can have devotion. It is not that we have to show off. As I know, should not show off saying that I am a great devotee. That is not good. But these are basic things. Basic, putting a tilak, putting a kantimala, putting a Vaishnava address is a basic thing. It is not a show off. But actually, if you try to boast saying that okay, I am a very great devotee, like I did this, I made so many devotees, I'm a great preacher, like I chant like 64 round. If you try to advertise this, then actually it is not good actually. That we should just keep it us only. But putting a Vaishnava dress and wearing tilak is a basic thing. It's a fundamental thing. So to whatever extent possible, we can do, Mataji. I don't know. It's a big answer. Actually, I'm not sure whether I'm able to answer your question.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. You have answered very nicely, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot.
You have some more questions in that? Any follow-up questions?
No, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So one general simple thing, Mataji, what we have to do is that we should not no, we should not take advice of the materialistic people. Okay, materialistic people may say so many things actually. So what is the value of what materialistic people are saying? Now we have to just understand, because whoever is materialistic, they don't have any idea about what is the purpose of human life. They don't know about spiritual path, or even if they know, they may think that no, worshipping some demigod is important. But they don't have any clear idea how everything is working, right? So when we understood, because of the mercy of parampara, and by mercy of a spiritual master, we are now able to understand how the entire thing is. What is the essence of Vedic scriptures? What is the purpose of human life? Who is the supreme? All these things we are understanding. So we should take information and advice from only people who are knowledgeable in that way. Materialistic people may say so many things. Okay, so it is not, we don't have to debate with them, because there is no point in debating. If you try to argue with them saying that no, this is what it is, there's no point. So that is why many places in scriptures it is told we should not instruct a people who doesn't have faith. Okay, somebody is sincere and he's having some faith and he wants to know, we could talk to them. But somebody is not favorable, they're inimical to us, they are envious. Many of them are envious actually. So to such people, there's no point in trying to explain, right? Why should I not just keep it in the heart, or no, why should I not wear sindura? These things actually, there's no point actually. These are more traditional things, right? So why we are wearing this particular tilak now, it's clear, right? Because we are following our parampara, and this is what acharyas have told us. And no, and so many benefit is mentioned in scriptures, right? We have just seen that, no, why we should wear tilak in these particular places, because for protection, so many things we discussed already, right? To make us pure, feel purified, all these reasons. It is told that no, if somebody is died, actually so many benefits of Padma Purana talks more things actually. It's not only it talks about the glories of tilak, it also talks the glories of, no, for example, somebody who's dying in a holy place, what will happen? Somebody dies in Ganges. Even if somebody extremely sinful person who has died, even if his ashes is put in Ganges, no, he's getting so much of benefit. It is told that he will be delivered from the hell. He is suffering in some hell. He'll be delivered. So much of things. So these things, unless until we have faith, no, the non-devotees will never accept all these things. They will think that all these are just some sentimentalism. No, there is no, because they don't even have any idea, about what is beyond this particular life, right? But actually, when we understand from a scriptural perspective, when we start having faith, then all these base things make sense. Okay, so yes, Mataji. So no, if people are not very favorable, then don't argue or discuss with them. Whatever actually we can follow practically, we can do, right? So whenever the environment is favorable, we can definitely wear tilak. If you're at home, nobody is going to ask, come and check, like what you're doing, and also we can take bath, wear the tilak actually, and then no, and in that particular purity, we can practice devotional service. That is always better. And when you're going out, if you're not comfortable, then as I mentioned, right, in the forehead actually you can put a water tilak, and rest of the body you can still put the gopi chandan, because people are not going to see, right? So whatever is we should, so point is that we should have faith in the parampara scriptures and try to follow, then we can get the results of it. Okay, is that fine?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Sandhya Mataji, you want to add something?
Yes, Prabhuji, the same question asked for me also. I used to wear tilak to school also, even my children also.
Yeah.
The initial days, right? Whenever the children sees my children, they used to say, Govinda, Govinda.
Mm. Yeah.
Then my children, Amma, we don't want to wear tilak and all. Then I told them, at least they were chanting at least God's name once, na? They are remembering God, right, while seeing your face.
Yes.
Then you are credited with 1 point from Krishna. Krishna feels you as a because of seeing them. Once these children, these people called my name, you will be treated like that. I told them in that way. And some of my colleagues also, they point, hey Sandhya, why you are wearing these and all at this age? What is the necessity of showing this and all? I told them, why you are applying lipstick? A simple question. Nowadays, a person goes out, they must and should, they should wear makeup and all, the lipstick and all. Why you are wearing that? Is it necessary to come out with the lipstick, makeup and all? I asked them. It is. It shows look good now. For looks good for whom? I asked them. Then they said, no, it should be good for everyone. Now. I want to make myself good for Krishna. I am giving importance to Krishna. You are giving importance to other people to whom whom may see you. You want to make them happy. That's why you are becoming looking good for others' sake.
Yes,
But I want Krishna feel happy. When I apply his symbol on my face, definitely Krishna feels she belongs to me. I would like to make myself to Krishna. That's why I'm wearing. What is wrong in that? I asked. Then after that, no one asked me. Or after that, also once I made a point. It's our culture. It's our culture. No one says we cannot go and ask other cultured people why you are wearing and all. And this has become a passion nowadays, right? Whoever following tradition and all pointing out. Actually, we should not encourage the people in that way. Why? Because this is from our ancestors. It's coming. It's not only by the ISKCON. It is coming from so many generations. When the world when this entire it has started, it is there. It's our culture. It's showing that here every point, whatever the 12 points where we are keeping our tilak, those are all called Brahma Grandhis. Means we are activating the Grandhis when we do chanting also. Means when our forehead, there only our souls, generally according to psychology also, there our soul place is like that. Means whenever we do meditate also, we do focus on that point only.
Yeah, these are chakras actually.
Everywhere also we do, even for small children also we do give raksha. Means after taking bath, we'll give for your shoulders raksha, your feet raksha. Means like that, everywhere we'll give raksha. Means there Krishna is there protecting you at all your strengthened points. Those points should be strength, should be given by Krishna. Then only we'll be working as means every nerve and every point will be activated with Krishna. Then we will be healthy. Everywhere it is related to science also. And our culture is the best culture. We should tell Mataji, please don't listen to the people who are not following the culture. Please, not as a ISKCON also, but you should be strict to our culture. Then only people will not point out like that. A person who is smoking, no one will go and say why you are smoking. Or a person who is doing something wrong, no one will go and say why you are doing. But a person who is following tradition, definitely they'll come and ask us. But when we ask them, definitely they do think what we should follow, what we should not follow. At least this is our time to speak out. What is correct, Mataji. These many years though, we lost our culture because of so many issues happened in our country. But we should not follow. Even though now so many other people, they were following our culture very sincerely, but we are listening to the people who are in our culture, in our family, who are not at all following our culture. But this is right. We should not give importance for that people. If anyone asks, just please tell them this is our culture. We should be like this only. We should not follow the others' house culture. I felt in that way, Prabhuji. I answered them in that way. Even now also we do wear tilak, and wherever we go, morning and always will be with tilak only, with Krishna's mercy.
Very nice, Mataji. That is what actually, so you're able to more depend on Lord. That's very nice. So the dependence and surrender will increase actually when we depend on the Lord. Nice, Mataji. Very nice. I think it's very important, no? Like your practical experience. So I think Shravani Mataji will get some more confidence by seeing her example.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thanks, Prabhuji. Thanks, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji. So basically, it's all different levels. No, we have to go through different steps in spiritual life. So when we get faith, no, we'll all become like that. Actually, we're like Sandhya Mataji, some point of time. Right now, we may not have that much what you call guts or whatever it is. So whatever she told, everything is correct only. So there are two things actually. One is that they people try from a scientific perspective what are the things, right? Some advantages are there, as she mentioned. But for us actually, so to talk to materialistic people, we can give that as example. No, what is advantage? We can tell that okay, this is the reason. There are chakras in this point and it's activated and all we can tell. But ideally, actually, in the real reason is actually we just want to please Krishna because acharyas have told we are just want to please Krishna. Okay, that is a real reason. But no, to materialistic people or people who are want something, right? They will have to tell these kind of reasons. No, like Tulsi, for example, because it is a devotee of the Lord, we are actually worshipping Tulsi and we are using it. But people, materialistic people will say, okay, there is no medicinal value, this thing, that thing, those kind of things we can say. But for a devotee, the real reason is only no, everything is connected. How we can connect everything to Krishna? What is the relationship with Krishna? That is important. Okay, and the culture thing is also very, very right. Mataji, Santya Mataji told. Right, because see, if you take 100 years back or no, then this was very normal. Everybody used to be like this only, devotees. People used to wear tilak and because this is our Vedic culture, right? In India, Bharatvarsha, this was Vedic culture actually. Nobody will look you at. So if you don't wear tilak, then people will look you, as an odd person. But over the period, especially after British rule and the Muslim rule, right, our culture actually is completely, to a great extent, it was destroyed. And the British had actually, they knowingly they made propaganda. They had actually many of the people knowingly try to rewrite history, and then they converted all our scriptures, everything as mythology, right? They are all actually, they reduce the value. So deliberately they kill this culture, and then because we all learned, we were grown up in this particular culture, right? The modern education, that is why we lost, our faith in the tradition and culture, because everybody knew, this the knowledge of atma, soul, and no, even a, even a like so low born person, right? Even a basic, very uneducated person, everybody knew about it actually because it was part of our culture. All this knowledge was there, right? The karma, everything. So because actually of the Western education, we were all made to believe that all these things are bogus. There is no value. It's all silly. And then we are convinced now, and then we think like that. That is why all the other people are asking you like that, because they don't have, nobody has any faith in our own culture. That is the reason actually. So that this is like a kind of a materialistic level, no? If you think these are the practical thing, but from spiritual perspective, as we discussed, right? The only simple thing is that no, just we want to please Krishna and then Acharya, spiritual master, and this is what actually our Acharyas are saying. They are saying that okay, you do this. There are rules and regulations, right? Follow this, and then it is our responsibility to take you back to Krishna, right? So we are just following it actually, so that no, by following these things, we achieve all the things which are required. Even though a child, if you tell the child, a small child, it may not be possible to explain to him all the reasons, right? Why the child has to do this certain thing. We just tell the child, okay, you do this thing. But what is the result actually is that he'll be become benefited. So similarly, because we are contaminated, no, we don't know, we don't have enough spiritual knowledge. We may not be able to exactly correlate why we have to do so many things. But the acharyas know exactly. When we do this, when you follow these things, indirectly we become purified by each and every activity that we do. The rules and regulations, the regulatory principles we follow, the do's, don'ts, right? All these things actually are helping us to become more and more purified and move towards Krishna. Okay, Revati Mataji has to leave. So I think yeah, that's a nice point. The good discussion. So anybody has any more questions? Any other questions? Yep. I am Lord Krishna's servant. No, that is the mood actually. It is mentioned here, right? Anyone who wishes to acknowledge the simple truth that I am the Lord Krishna's servant. So this is basically we are telling that I am the servant of the Lord. Actually, we are declaring that, and by that actually, we become purified, and then our we become more and more humble. That is ultimately that is what is ultimately we have to achieve the humility. Okay. Any devotees? Any other question?
Hare
Devotees,
Krishna
any?
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I remember like this Gopichand is a place nearby Dwaraka, isn't it, Prabhuji?
Actually,
Where
it is
like
a clay. It is a mud actually, Mataji. Mud,
yeah,
mud
but
taken
that is
from Dwaraka
there is
and
some history like that Gopis while Krishna leaving his body from this material to the spiritual abode,
yeah.
the Gopis entered that river and
Mm.
to leave their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that mud is used as a to putting as a tilak, that clay.
Correct. Yeah, it is the dust of the gopis actually. That's what it
Yes,
is
yes,
considered. Vrindavan
yes.
dust, which is the dust of the gopis, Mataji. That's right, Mataji.
Yeah, yeah. That is like it will, as you said, it will makes the it is makes our body as a temple and purifies the body. and it also a sign of protection from evil influences.
Yes.
And one more thing is, like, if you after seeing the tilak wearing on any of the devotees or on others, will immediately will it make us to remember him, even though if we forget.
Correct.
When we see that tilak, immediately we will remember the Lord Krishna. It is the one way to remember
Yes,
the
Mataji,
Lord.
correct. Yes. Very nice. Okay, good. Chetan Prabhu, you have any questions? You are silent today fully.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, no Prabhuji, no questions.
Okay, so Sushil Kumar, Sushil Prabhu.
Uh, yeah, actually, this is a very basic question. May not be related with the today's discussion, but I want to know what is difference between mythology and the scripture, Bhagavad,
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam, yeah, specifically.
See, mythology
Means
is coming from the word.
does that I mean Srimad Bhagavatam comes under the mythology or not?
No.
And what is
Just,
basically what is basically mythology and difference between these?
yeah. See, mythology is coming from the word. No, etymologically, it comes from the word myth. What does it myth? Myth means something which is false or doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Okay.
correctly.
So word mythology means it is just a fiction. Fiction is a fiction. No?
Friction, yeah, friction, yeah,
Fiction is
fiction,
actually a novel, right? It's just somebody's
hmm
imagination. Fiction.
imagination. Yeah.
Yes. So mythology is actually myth. So basically, Britishers told that this is mythology means these are all false. There's nothing like that actually. These are all myth. People are just concocted. That is what actually they try to label our scriptures. But actually, our scriptures are real history. No, they are actually part of incidents, events which has happened in the past.
Mm.
Okay, so that is a fundamental difference. So scriptures are actually facts which has happened at different points in time in the history, and mythology is something which is not there. So, but so that is a difference.
Yeah.
It's clear, or some more questions?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. My understanding was same, but yeah, still, in some discussion you made a point mythology, so I remember that question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, thank you, Roji. Thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Now, Chitra Mataji, today you are most silent actually. Normally you always speak.
And I was listening, Prabhuji, because it came as a surprise because I never knew it was the earth, Prabhuji, clay. I
Mm-hmm.
always thought it was sandalwood
No.
because it's written Chandan, no? So
Yeah, yeah,
I was little, misled by that word,
yeah, yeah.
Chandan.
Correct, Mataji.
So,
So
because
some
that we use
places,
for sandalwood, and in most of the temples, we put with the Chandan, Prabhuji.
yes,
All the
Mataji.
marks on the body, all the
Yeah,
12 marks
traditionally,
and more are all Chandan marks. So I was a
correct.
little surprised that it was clay.
Yes, Mataji. See, Chandan also, so typically, traditionally, I think in South India and many places, I think they wear Chandan only. If you go to, like Mataji was telling about, no, many temples actually, like, they use Chandan. Even in our temple also, they put Chandan actually. It's because Chandan, in many of the pastimes of the Lord also, it is Chandan is used. Because Chandan is actually cooling, right? So it is actually Chandan pulp is made and it is put on the body of the Lord. No, they decorate the body with Chandan, and people also wear Chandan. But actually, the dust from Vrindavan actually, is considered as much more powerful, because no, it is the pure devotee's dust, right? And it's from the holy dham, so that is why it is considered as more auspicious than Chandana. So sometimes I think they may mix also what we get, they may mixing Chandan or some other what you call items which actually are fragrant, right? They may be mixing it actually. So, but the clay, if you go to Vraja, Vrindavan, the people who are staying there, they actually put the mud directly. They take the mud and put it as a tilak. And even in Mayapur also, we have seen that. So yeah, Mataji. So that is true. So traditionally, we many of us wear chandan. Even in our native also, they actually chandan only in temple and all. They give chandan as prasadam, and that is worn. That is also good actually. It's also prasadam. Whatever is offered to the Lord, it becomes prasadam. But actually, this gopi chandan, which is coming from the holy dham, it is considered as very much more powerful and pure. Actually, it has much more potency in that.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So now onwards, everybody is going to wear tilak, no? So others, anybody else is having similar, like you can just openly tell, what if you have some. So I think many of us has this inhibition, right? What others think, is it true or not? True or false? I think Sandhya Mataji doesn't have it, but
Yeah, Prabhuji, you said that ego is the
Mm.
only solution for that, right?
It's a problem actually. Yeah.
Yeah, means removing ego, that is the
Yes.
solution.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, and most of the people who put the tilak are
Mm.
people who have progressed, Prabhuji, not beginners. Beginners, we are still searching around for answers.
Yeah,
So
no
I
problem, Madhuri. I'm
think,
just telling. Yeah, when we are
yes,
comfortable, we should put. But
yes,
here, that question, your question is answered. No, here Prabhupada is saying that it doesn't mean that no, we should be a senior devotee or a no advanced devotee. Anybody can put it. Is what
yes,
Prabhupada is
yes,
saying.
Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, but we may feel. See, many people in the beginning, no, they think that they are not qualified because they feel that okay, no, I'm not following or no, we may be doing something which is not right. So, for example, putting the Kanti Mala, no, they are reluctant actually to do that. One way it is good actually, so that no, when so that we will actually endeavor to no become more and more better. But actually, putting tilak actually doesn't require any much qualification. Okay, but then it will remind you actually. Some like now native and all like people are like a lot of people everybody eat non-veg, but actually they are reluctant when they put tilak. No, then they are reluctant to put eat non-veg actually. So basically they know that okay, that actually is always bringing us remembering about the Lord actually. That way it is good actually. To make us more follow correctly. Putting it. So even if you are not fully ready, still putting is better because no, then we will be compelled to do things properly. That way it is good. Yeah. So based on our faith, we can pray to Lord actually to give more faith and no and to be more dependent on Him, so that gradually this will go away. This shyness or no what others think, that actually thing will gradually go away. We should come to a stage where no we should not we should be completely fearless. I am only like no we just want to please the Lord. That's all. So that should be our mood actually gradually. But in the beginning, it is maybe difficult for different people, based on our background and our nature, right? Like that. Yeah. Where is that? Where is that statement actually? That no anybody can put it. Somewhere it is there. Anybody can remember? Mm, yeah.
Chapter 9.
Here only. You may not feel. So anyone who wishes to acknowledge the simple truth that I am Lord Krishna's servant can wear tilaka, the clay mark, devotee wear on the forehead and other places of the body. You may not feel you have much devotion to Krishna, but you are not prohibited from wearing tilaka because it's a sign of you are trying to be a devotee. What's more, in Krishna devotees develop in person who learn the art of wearing tilaka. So it's saying that just by wearing tilaka now, we can improve our devotion to the Lord. It's like the way around is saying. Yes, good. Okay, then I think if any other questions are there. So Chetan Prabhu, you will be going to wear tilak. Are you ready?
Uh, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No,
Yes.
Prabhuji, I'll not.
You have to explain, Prabhu. Why?
Explanation I'll give Prabhuji. So, yeah, Krishna says that he's the yogi he doesn't differentiate between the person, Prabhuji. Uh, he doesn't differentiate between he sees all the persons equally. If he's wearing tilak or not wearing the tilak, or non-devotee or devotee also. And in in Bhagavad Gita 5.8 Prabhuji, Krishna says that a person in the divine consciousness also engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing always know within himself that he always does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. So, uh, my point is that if you are wearing tilak or not wearing the tilak, you need to be a Krishna conscious. You should be a devotee of Krishna.
Yeah, but
And
yes. Yeah, Prabhu. But see, you have to follow some authority, na Prabhu. We cannot be independent. So Krishna, see other places. So there are many various places. Different things are told, right? In Bhagavad Gita, the things are actually mentioned a little symbolically. Okay, and so Bhagavad Gita is actually for Arjuna who is bewildered, and no, it is a basic philosophy. Okay, so what you told is right. When somebody is already become completely pure, for him it doesn't have to follow any rules and regulations. The rules and regulations are for the people who are practicing devotees, the sadhaka bhakta, right? So this is a process. No, we have different devotional surveys, right? Different levels we have discussed. So this is known as, there is something called sadhana bhakti, and then it's called raganuga bhakti, right? And then there is called prema bhakti. So these are different levels. So in the devote, if you're already an elevated person, if you're already crossed all this basic thing, then actually we don't have to follow anything. We don't have to follow any rules and regulations. Nothing is required. But if somebody is considering themselves as a sadhaka who is a practicing devotee, they have to follow the rules and regulations. If you avoid following the rules and regulations, then actually we can easily be, you can easily fall down from the path, because we are not following the acharyas. So if you want to go to Krishna, right, then actually we have to follow a parampara. We told, no, we already discussed. So if Prabhupada and all his previous acharyas, they have told us to do these things because they are giving us the assurance that they will take. So if you don't follow, then actually you have to find out who is going to take you. So you are not depending on Prabhupada, then you have to find some other acharya, no, who, if he says that okay, I can take you to Krishna, don't follow all these things by then actually you should find that person who can do that. Otherwise, actually by our own endeavor, it is not possible, right? So that is the problem actually, Prabhu.
Yes.
By whose strength or by what means are we going to Krishna? That is that question we have to ask. So if you think that no, my own practice and by my own endeavor I will reach Krishna, that is very very difficult actually. The Krishna has to directly show mercy to you, which actually is very difficult. That's why Krishna has given no this process, the parampara, the acharyas. Krishna is saying that the spiritual master is not different from me. Krishna, spiritual master, is representation in the material world. Unless and until we are very fortunate, no, Krishna is not going to appear before us directly. He will only come in the form of a spiritual master, or he'll come in the form of a pure devotee. So we have to find somebody who actually tells you that no, do these things and I'll take you to Krishna. Then you have to verify everything, each and everything that person is saying as per scriptures, and they have to establish that he's a bona fide spiritual master. Then actually you can follow whatever that spiritual master is saying, and then you may reach that particular destination. So here actually, you know, that's how it probably it is. So we'll have to think about it more, what is actually required. And generally, no, it is very difficult actually to fully surrender to Krishna. See, the biggest problem of all, the root of all the problem is that we are not ready to completely surrender to a spiritual master, or we are not ready to surrender to Krishna. That is a fundamental issue here. Okay, bro, no problem. We'll have to take time, right? When we become convinced, then actually we should try to follow whatever is required. Okay, then any other devotees? Anybody has any comments or anything to add? If it is not, then I think we can move to the next session.